what happens if you're carefree in an interaction.
Last week with like the musical I went to see, I realized is that I have like a super big unmet need of like wanting to be seen.
I'm curious, how did you learn to protect yourself from your wants and needs?
I think it's to do with being autistic, and I wasn't diagnosed until a few years ago. So growing up, there were a lot of situations where I was really uncomfortable with something, and for whatever reason, or like I didn't want to participate in activities, like with extended family would meet up and for Christmas, and they wanted to play party games, and everyone had a great time, and for me, it felt like torture. Like I did not want to be doing it, and so then I either have to pretend, and then I'm really not being myself, but then they're happy, or I can push back and then everyone's annoyed with me or like I'm ruining the fun for everyone. So like if I'm true to myself, then people don't like it. It's not just that they don't like it, but they actively try to change it. There are probably hundreds of examples like this. And there's also been a thing with emotions. Like at home, we weren't really allowed to show negative emotions much. Not that like our parents would get annoyed or anything, but they would try really hard to make the emotion go away, like to help. So like, hey, think about how much worse it could be. My mom often felt like I was overreacting to things, or like that I'm being inconsiderate of her emotions. Like we had a thing where I was terrified of making phone calls and I was super anxious about it. And she was really anxious about making phone calls because we lived abroad and she wasn't fluent in the language yet. So for her, like that part of it was just as stressful. But then she wanted me to make phone calls for her sometimes. And I remember like I didn't want to do it, but she would sort of frame it as like, why can't you even help me with something as simple as this? Like it's so easy for you because you're fluent. And it's sort of like me being stressed about it for a different reason wasn't even part of the equation. Like she wouldn't even acknowledge that part. And so she thought I was being really selfish because I wouldn't want to help her even like with something that to her seemed really simple.
I'm feeling kind of frustrated with the mother and how she handled the situation because I think it's insensitive of her to put that pressure on you. And then it sounds like she's projecting her insecurity onto you. I would call emotional blackmailing to be like, why can't you do this for me? Why couldn't she do it for herself?
Yeah.
That's where my conflict and frustration comes up.
Yeah, mom's needs are more important than mine.
Yeah.